All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the sum. This is important. Whenever you see the word sum, we're going to use this formula. And the formula is n minus 2 times 180. And n equals the number of sides in the polygon. Okay? So I have some examples here. The first set of examples is just finding the sum of interior angles. So the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what n is. For a decagon, that's a 10-sided figure, so n is 10. So I'm going to plug it into this formula right here. A horrible highlighter. And what we get is we get n minus 2 times 180. And instead of n, I plug in 10. So 10 minus 2 times 180. And you can either do the math in your head and say, oh, I know that that's 8. Or you can just let the calculator do the whole thing, and it will be 10 minus 2 times 180. And so the sum of the angles in a decagon is 1,440. That's what the... If you notice, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided polygon. And so a 5-sided polygon is a pentagon. Now, if it was a triangle, we would know that the angles would add up to 180, but it's not. So what I have to do is I have to use my highlighted formula up here to find out what the angles of a pentagon add up to. So it'll be 5 minus 2 times 180, which is 540. So I know that these 5 angles inside this pentagon need to equal 540. Now, if you notice, there are 2 equal angles on the pentagon. It's the ones with arcs. So if this one's 121, I know that this one over here is 121. So now I'm just going to write an equation, and I'm going to add up all the angles to equal 540. So I'm adding 5 angles to equal 540. So if I combine my terms, 121 plus 121 plus 101 plus 98, I get 441. And then if I subtract that from 540, I get 99. So that tells me that this x here is 99. Exterior angles of a polygon. And the exterior angles are what's on the outside, okay? Well, if you think about it, when you walk around the outside of something, you go in a complete circle. And so when you go in a complete circle, a circle is 360 degrees. So the exterior angles of a polygon have a sum of 360 degrees. If I have a regular polygon, that means all the angles are the same. So if all the inside angles are the same, then that means all the outside angles are the same. So those are also going to be equal. Okay, so for the first problem, what we need to do is we just need to find out the exterior angle of the regular polygons. Well, a nonagon has 9 sides. I know that all 9 angles add up to 360, so I could just do 360 divided by 9, and I know that each angle is 40 degrees. Okay? All right, so here comes the... Okay, so the next set of examples is a little different because they're not regular. These are funky shapes. None of the angles are the same. Well, I know that they have to always add up to 360. So my first angle is x, my second angle is 82, then 113, then 68. And all of those have to add up to 360. So I'm going to combine my terms, and I get x plus 263 is 360. So I'm going to minus 263, and I get 97. So I just found out that this angle is 97 degrees because all 4 angles add up to 360. Okay, so let's go on to the last section. When we talk about each interior angle of a regular polygon. So what's that saying is if I have, let's say, a pentagon and everything is perfect, they're all the same, that tells me that all these angles are the same. Well, if I know what those add up to, then I can just divide by 5 to make them all equal. So the way you find what one interior angle is, that's just 1, you do the sum divided by n. Well, remember we have a formula for a sum. You've written it a bunch today, and it's n minus 2 times 180. So you find the sum, and then you divide by the number of sides. All right, so let's look at the first set of examples where it says find a measure of each angle in a regular polygon. Well, this one's a heptagon. A heptagon is 7 sides. So I need to first find the sum, so 7 minus 2 times 180. And then I'm going to divide by how many sides, and there's 7 sides. So here's the thing. You got to make sure that you use parentheses and that you plug it in the calculator, or you do the steps by hand, either way. So 7 minus 2 times 180, and then I'm going to divide by 7, and I get 128.57. So that tells me